Actress Mercedes McCambridge is 64. Thought for the day from George Bernard Shaw, who was an Irish-born writer. He said, "There's nothing wrong with Ireland except that it's Irish. And there's nothing wrong with England except that it's not Irish."
When the folks at DuPont asked us to tell...
Lucite paint is on sale now at Clark's in Murfreesboro. Honest to goodness Merle Haggard music here on the Midday Show. Skip and PRD, good morning.
Good morning. Coming up a bit later on, we'll talk of priests and politics and golden hairs.
You shouldn't mix them, that's for sure. Here's Mel McDaniel. Mel McDaniel taking you to the country.
Nashville weather.
Being brought to you by Dixie Datsun, where there's a factory incentive truck sale going on right now. If you ever wanted a Dixie Datsun truck, right now is a good time to buy it. March only. Thompson Lane at Nolensville Road.
Partly cloudy and warm today and tonight. Chance of thunder showers. Continued partly cloudy, warm tomorrow. Expect low 80s, high both today and tomorrow. And low tonight will be in the upper 50s. It's 72. There's a bit of blue among the clouds this morning.
Looks nice, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Weather brought to you by Dixie Datsun, Thompson Lane at Nolensville Road.
Only day of the year when you can find Irishmen named Wisniewski and Magadino. We'll talk about professional Irishmen a bit later on.
Skip and PRD show here on a Wednesday morning. It's 24 after 9 o'clock. Good morning. Here's Kenny Rogers.
Here are headlines for the half hour. The leader of rebel guerrilla forces in El Salvador today offered to accept U.S. mediation with the American-backed regime in this country. The interview appears in a leftist newspaper published in Beirut, Lebanon. The Red Brigade's terrorist, who had a gun on kidnapped American General James Dozier, told an Italian court today that he could have killed the general when police burst into the terrorist hideout. He said he did not shoot for humanitarian reasons. Treasury Secretary Reagan says Congress is having trouble rewriting President Reagan's budget. Reagan also told a broadcast interviewer that Democratic moves to roll back Mr. Reagan's tax cuts are not acceptable. Chairman of Congressional Immigration Subcommittee today introduces a bill. It would impose stiff penalties on employers who knowingly hire illegal aliens. The Knoxville City Council has unanimously passed an anti-eviction ordinance to punish greedy landlords by denying them nightly rental permits, and they'll need them to let rooms to World Fair tourists. Two prominent West Tennessee businessmen face charges of arranging to have the president of a Paris bank killed for $6,500. The Environmental Policy Institute said building 5 synthetic fuel plants proposed for Tennessee, Alabama, Utah, and Wyoming would be a mistake. Well, it's sunny if there are some clouds there. Nothing to worry about at the moment, and radar doesn't show anything much to the west of us. It's 73 degrees at our studios. Bob Randall, WSM News. Our next news at 10 from NBC.
Baby, I'll just go away.
That's Roseanne Cash. It's called Blue Moon with Heartache from Radio 65. Ring that tacky bell.
Ring that tacky bell and let's do pay radio. We'll take, seeing as we're this close, let's take the 10th call. Right now. 352-3911.
Call right now. We want a winner this time, folks. Here's Alabama. Oh, I like that, don't you?
Listen, I like my music. I like that one better than that one. I mean, that is good stuff. Alabama.
That's called Green River for you from WSM, the best in the country. It's 21 now before 10 o'clock. And once again, folks, time for...
Pay radio.
You almost hit my hand.
I'm sorry about that.
It's time for a winner.
Yes, it really is time for a winner.
Tired of messing around.
This could be the one right here.
Give away money now.
Okay. Who are we talking to, please?
Thomas Stanley.
Okay, Thomas, out there in the Mount Juliet area. Why don't you start at the very edge of this dollar bill serial number and see if you can come up with $100.
I hope so.
All right. What's the very first letter, and just run right through the serial number for us?
E 7 4 8 7 4 3 3 4 B.
What did you say the last one was?
B like in boy.
As in boy?
Right.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. You just won yourself $100, Thomas.
Thank you.
How about that? How about that, Thomas?
What are you going to do with that $100?
I may go on that trip to Holland.
Thomas, congratulations. Thank you for listening to WSM today. All right.
Okay, hey, can we get, hang on the phone, we need to get your telephone number. Well, I guess he hung up, didn't he?
Thomas.
He hung up.
Thomas will call us back. For $100, he's going to call back and find out where to get it.
Okay, great. It's 20 minutes before 10 here at WSM, and it's going to be next hour. We're going to try to find ourselves another. You've got another.
Got another one of those numbers for us, do you, Lou? Okay.
Miss Lou has another serial
Miss
number.
Lou has another one.
We'll be working on another one next hour,
Okay.
so stay with us here. Another satisfied customer,
Yes, Thomas
Finley.
Finley is winner of our second $100. We're going to start working on a third serial number because Bay Radio will just continue on here.
Looks like it. Here's Ed Bruce. Ed Bruce, you're the best to break this old heart ever had. WSM, partly cloudy and warm today through Thursday. A chance of thunder showers today and night. High today and tomorrow in the low 80s. Doesn't that sound good? Low tonight in upper 50s. 40% chance of rain today. 30 for you tonight. It's 72 at WSM. Sunshine. Look
I
at that.
just cannot speak with a lilt today. I just can't do it.
Speak with a lilt.
Yes, well,
People mistake you for a hairdresser if you do.
no. I was talking about a bit of a brogue.
Oh.
You see, Dickerson is an English name. Now, it's not that I have anything against the Irish.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds
We did
terribly snobbish, but some of my best friends are Irish. It just happens that I'm not Irish.
We did go to Erin, Tennessee.
We did go to Erin, Tennessee. You see, today is the day that a lot of people who are not Irish start talking funny. And I'm just not going to do that.
Well, they start talking like this all the time.
No. You see, 1,521 years ago today, St. Patrick died. It's problematical whether Ireland's patron saint would comprehend the festivities that annually accompany the anniversary of his demise in a nation built on a continent he never even knew existed. In any case, it can be fairly said that few figures in history have their memories toasted so thoroughly and by so many Americans as does good St. Patrick every March 17th. From snake races in San Francisco to the town-wide party in Shamrock, Texas. And the wearing of the green is going to make it difficult today to sort out the authentic Irish from pretenders to the sod. In Erin, Tennessee, too, an entire Irish festival going on.
Sure.
But when the parade masters don their bowler hats, the bands strike a lively note, and the green-tinted beer begins to flow, it's a sure bet nobody's going to care. The nation's biggest parades, New York and Chicago, and in both cities, police are standing by to separate the fruits of the vine and vat from the worshippers in hopes of maintaining some sense of decorum. In Chicago, they'll probably dye the river green again today. They always do that.
They always do that.
Last year, 300 parade watchers ended up in Chicago lockups for overly enthusiastic celebrating. Thousands of extra officers, thousands we say, have been assigned to the Fifth Avenue parade route in New York today, where about 120,000 marchers are expected to take part. We'll drink to that.
But not while we're on the air. Waylon and Willie, just to satisfy you from WSM.
Someone's gone.
Waylon and Willie, WSM. We were talking about St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, by the by, if you are truly Irish and are flexing your legitimate ethnicity today, you're forgiven.
Okay. A little bit later on, we'll talk about the origin of PRD's last name. Anyway, as we were talking about St. Patrick's Day, there is a St. Patrick's Day jazz celebration at the Cannery tonight.
St. Patrick liked jazz.
I don't know if he did or
I don't know
not.
if he did or not.
I thought he was into punk rock myself. It's at 8 o'clock at the Cannery. Tickets are $7.50 a person. You're probably wondering, gosh, that's a lot of money. But all the proceeds will be benefiting the American Cancer Society. So for more information, call this number. It's 327-0991. Now you want to tell everybody where your last name came from?
Well, we were talking about trade names the other day.
Trade names.
Yeah, you know, like Wright and Miller and
Smith.
Weaver and Smith,
Right.
certainly. Dickerson's trade name. A little hard to recognize. But literally, I spring from humble origins, apparently, because it refers to ditch digging. It was originally the diker's son, and the diker built dikes, dug ditches, did that sort of thing.
I don't know where Woolwine came from.
Well, I was wondering, you know, when I first was told that the co-host for this program that I was to appear on was Skip Woolwine,
Yeah.
I started flashing on, okay, we've got here a fabric and a spirit. One could just as easily be paired with Mr. Cotton Gin.
I've been called sheep dip before.
We're here at
Miss Loretta, live from WSM, the best in the country.
It is WSM at 3 before 10 o'clock with 71 degrees. We see a little blue up there among the clouds. Down on the southeast corner of the state, they're getting socked pretty good down into Georgia and Alabama.
Better them than us, that's what I always say.
It could happen to us, though. We still have a probability of 30% chance of maybe some thunder showers this afternoon.
Yeah, here's Mo Bandy. K.O. Davies, around the clock 11 from WSM, Skip and PRD.
8 minutes after 10 o'clock with 73 degrees. We're going to the low 80s this afternoon. Won't that be nice?
Let's go for it.
Let's go for it all the way.
Get the Frisbee, go out to Centennial Park, throw it around a little bit.
I got
Eddie Raven, a little bit crazy from WSM.
Yes, as a matter of fact, we are, time to time, on the Skip and PRD show.
10 after 10 o'clock. Lest we forget, to bring us back off our cloud of excitement for the beautiful weather we've been having, there is a 40% chance of rain for you today and 30% tonight. 74 out there now. Beautiful, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. My partner's been waxing semi-euphoric. Tomorrow he'll wax his car.
Thank you very much. Bob, the Grand
No
Ole
purchase necessary.
TV cash game.
You stepped on that man's lips.
Are you think he's finished now?
He's all done now.
Well.
He left the studio.
Okay. Well, anyway, I was going to tell you that the Grand Ole Opry is the world's most famous country music radio show, and now it's a good time for you and your friends to come and enjoy an exciting Opry performance. Still plenty of good tickets available for all the Opry shows this weekend. They've got one 7:30 Friday night and 6:30 and 9:30 on Saturday. Opry ticket office at Opryland open right now, folks. 889-3060. Hard today. No one can sing like George Jones.
Nobody.
Can't even attempt to mimic him.
16 after 10 o'clock in the morning is Skip a PRD show. I don't know why I'm sleepy. We're going to do that again. Pay Radio. We got a brand new serial number.
We certainly do. Thomas Finley raked us over the coals for $100 last hour.
Yeah.
And the boss is down the hall and he's steaming.
Wait till he hears us doing another one on the air.
Oh, we're in trouble.
Okay, I got something for you here.
All right.
What weighs 9 tons and is dangerous?
9 tons and is dangerous. My imagination is just dead. I can't think of anything.
Well, apply this. 443 hunters gathered in Sweetwater, Texas over the weekend to bag about 9 tons of rattlesnakes. 17,986 pounds of rattlesnakes.
Where do you get these stories?
I don't know. That's a record for that 3-day rattlesnake roundup in West Texas. The old record was less than half that. The longest rattler caught was 67 inches. Friends, that's a lot of snake. That's 5 feet 7 inches of snake.
Gosh.
With rattles on one end and a bite on the other. Participants were paid $4 per pound for their catch. That's one of the enticements, you see. When the hunt was over, the festivities began, including the snake-eating contest. Dick Crocker of Sweetwater ate 14 ounces of snake steak in 60 seconds to win for the second year in a row.
Oh, no.
Well, that's not all that happened in Texas. Sergeant Thomas Dees and his mother, Spec 5 Althea Shavers, are making today's Army a family affair. The Army's first mother-son team enlisted together 7 years ago, and Dees re-enlisted last week at his mother's recruiting station in Dallas. Shavers says if her son had decided not to re-enlist, she'd have quit the Army too. Pentagon spokesman says the two are the same rank and were the first mother and son enlisted under the Army's buddy system. And what they say, like mother, like son.
Thank you very much. You're the Bellamy Brothers. Bellamy Brothers, for all the wrong reasons. That's why you listen to the Skip and PRD show.
Not entirely. There may be some very good reasons.
Well, Pay Radio's one.
Take Tom Finley. Yes, a $100 winner this very morning. I told you today was going to be the day. I just had that gut feel.
I didn't know it was going to happen the first hour, though.
Please not discuss guts on the radio. 74 degrees, and we have a couple of jobs available. We don't. That's the collective assumed we.
Harold Hensley's got one.
Yes, Harold Hensley had these jobs available. A food service company, these are ones that Harold decided not to take for some reason. A food service company has an opening for a pot washer. Person must work 7 in the morning till 3:30 in the afternoon. It's a Monday through Friday job. And the person must have a clean and neat appearance. Pay is $3.75 an hour. What else? Oh, yeah.
The hairdresser.
No, I have one here that people say this is not a marketable skill. And some people say, oh, I'm
What, stagecoach grinder?
just a homemaker. But
Uh-huh.
a homemaker is needed by a social service agency, person to provide in-home care to the elderly. The duties include cleaning, preparing meals, finance budgeting, laundering, and personal care. And the pay is $837 a month.
That's not too bad for a homemaker.
No. Interested in job openings, you can stop by the nearest office of the Tennessee Department of Employment Security. They have two in town. One's on James Robertson Parkway at 301, and the other, just by serendipity, is
Madison Square Shopping Center.
Clever Devil You.
I know.
Nashville weather.
It looks pretty good. Partly cloudy and warm for you today through Thursday. A chance of thunder showers today and tonight. There's one right now. High today and tomorrow in the low 80s. Low tonight in the upper 50s. And your rain chance is 40% today. 30% tonight. The official beginning of spring, folks, isn't until Saturday afternoon. Late.
4:56, I believe. Let me just check here real quick. I've got this.
Okay, well, I'll tell everybody it's sunny and 75 degrees under partly cloudy skies at WSM.
That was right. It's 4:56 Saturday afternoon.
Okay, according to the calendar, spring, of course, does not arrive till, of course, late Saturday afternoon. However, the 80-degree readings yesterday, along with heavy thunderstorm activity last night and this morning, are solid evidence, quoth the National Weather Service, that the calendar is just a few days behind. At mid-morning, temperatures across the state extremely mild, mostly in the 60s and 70s. Rather heavy thunderstorms continuing in the southeastern part of the volunteer state. Very little change is foreseen through Thursday since warm, moist air covers the entire south part of the United States.
I found gold.
Here are headlines for the half hour. The commander of the rebel forces in El Salvador told a Beirut newspaper he would be willing to listen for the United States to mediate the conflict between the government and the guerrilla forces in El Salvador. The accused Red Brigade terrorist says he had time to kill American General James Dozier before the Italian police rescued the general. The terrorist said, however, he refrained for what he said were humanitarian purposes. In an interview in the Daily Oklahoman, President Reagan blames television news for slowing down the economic recovery by airing depressing reports on people who've lost their jobs. About 8,000 residents have been evacuated from Fort Wayne, Indiana. In the past 4 days, floodwaters there, as high as 10 feet, have inundated parts of the city. The Knoxville City Council has passed an ordinance hoping to stop greedy landlords from evicting tenants during the World's Fair. Crews are working to upright those 10 railway cars derailed near Jonesboro. Some 50 people had to leave their homes. The Tennessee Valley Authority's own 20,000-member construction force is reportedly helping to build TVA power plants, doing it cheaper than it could be done by private contractors. It's beginning to cloud now, but it's a bright and at least momentarily sunny day. 76 degrees at our studios. Bob Randall, WSM News. Our next news at 11 from NBC.
Bobby Sue and the Oak Ridge Boys at WSM, the best in the country. Boy, you picky.
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 Oh, picky. I just said that what you suggest all the time cannot be done.
Well,
One cannot pick oneself up, a prize or anything else.
well, I'm saying to pick yourself up, yourself being an indirect object.
Boy, are you an indirect object.
Pair of tickets being the direct object.
Oh, I understand, but not well.
Okay, we got some Amy Lou Harris tickets coming up.
Pick yourself up some.
It's Ronnie Rogers. My Love Belongs to You from WSM, Skip and PRD here, discussing the finer points of English grammar.
But just notice something very peculiar here. It has nothing to do with English grammar at all.
Okay.
It's just one of the things in the calendar of events.
I prefer that it doesn't have anything to do with English grammar.
Ebb and flow of the daily life in America.
Uh-huh.
This is Evacuation Day in Suffolk County, Massachusetts.
Evacuation Day.
It doesn't say why,
It doesn't say why.
but it's celebrated every March 17th. Apparently, folks in Suffolk County just pack up and get out of the county on March 17th.
Nashville weather.
Great day for burglars.
I guess so. Well, I picked myself up a new weather forecast.
Certainly glad.
New forecast says partly cloudy and warm this afternoon and tonight with a chance of thunder showers. Partly cloudy and warm on Thursday. High this afternoon and tomorrow in your low 80s. Low tonight near 60. And your rain chance is up to about 50% this afternoon, 30% tonight. I've got 74 now.
I have 98.6.
WSM.
It really bothers.
Corporation.
All right, I want you to do something for me here, Skip.
What was that?
I can't reach from where I am. I cannot reach you. Take
Go
your
ahead.
take your right hand.
Yeah?
All right, hold it about 6 inches from your face.
Yeah.
Slap yourself in the cheek. Okay, thank
It's
you.
muffled because of my beard. Why?
We're going to talk about violence next. I just wanted to get in the mood.
Violence.
Yes, that comes up in just a few minutes on WSM.
You could always kick me under the table, huh? Here's Billy Swan. Ow! Billy Swan, stuck right in the middle of your love. WSM, Skip, and PRD. You're not satisfied with verbal abuse, so now you're going to get into violence. Huh?
Well, we've got to cut down on some of this violence on the radio.
All right.
You've never heard that as a major concern, I don't think. However, violence on television, other people talk about.
Mm-hmm.
A television watchdog group says American TV programs are growing more and more violent, and ABC produces 4 out of 5 of the most violent weekly series on the air. National Coalition on Television Violence, based in Decatur, Illinois, says TV mayhem reached its highest levels in more than a year during the fall television season, averaging 6 violent acts an hour.
That's probably why their ratings are going up.
Sounds like my neighborhood. NCTV Board Chairman Thomas Radecki, psychiatrist at Southern Illinois University School of Medicine, says he is, in his words now, disappointed by how long it's taking advertisers and the TV movie industry to take violence seriously. Radecki says, I see the harmful effects of entertainment violence almost every week in working with my patients. The group says in a newsletter that ABC has 5 of the 6 most violent programs, with a Sunday night movie averaging 22 acts of violence an hour. The group says the most violent weekly series was ABC's Fall Guy, averaging 21 violent acts per hour. Second most violent, Strike Force, ABC's, followed by CBS's Incredible Hulk. And not even Saturday morning cartoons were left unscathed by these watchdogs.
My goodness.
The most violent Saturday morning cartoons, in order, Daffy Duck, Thundar the Barbarian, Bugs Bunny, Space Wars, and Black Star. Be that as it may, most folks just couldn't much identify with Wile E. Coyote inviting the Roadrunner to a seminar on interpersonal relationships.
Well,
take that.
Calm down, calm down. Turning your mic off. You're getting abusive over there. 14 before 11. WSM, here's Conway.
You love the clown.
Conway Twitty and the Clown from WSM. Skip and PRD.
The opinions expressed on this program do not represent the views of sane people.
Okay. 74 degrees. Oh, we want to remind you that if you have a public service announcement that
if you have a public service announcement, friends, here's what you do with it.
you send it to us. WSM Radio, Box 100, Nashville 37202.
But not just to us.
To the Public Service Director.
Public Service Director. Write that on there, because if you send it to Skip, he can't read.
I'll send it to Spare Dog over at your house.
Yes. Information, please, 2 weeks in advance.
That'll help. And coming up a little later on, we'll have some tickets, your choice, actually, of tickets or an album. New Emmylou Harris LP Cimarron.
I want a new car.
No, we're not giving away a choice of a new car.
No, just tickets or album.
Just tickets or album. Emmylou Harris is going to be in concert tomorrow night at 8 p.m. at Vanderbilt's Memorial Gym. And I'm going to go. And I think it's time to play Pay Radio.
It's time to play Pay Radio. And we're going to start off with a brand new serial number, having, in the last hour, given away...
So that was redundant.
What's redundant?
I just said it's time to play Pay Radio, and you repeated me.
Well, it's because I didn't get a chance to say it, you see. We're starting with a brand new serial number, and, of course, we will tell you that the first character is going to be a letter. And let's just take the third call right now at 352-3911. Start off.
Carpenter. KLM Airlines and WSM Radio 65.
We're back here, Skip and PRD. Time to play Pay Radio.
Yes, indeed. We took that third call, and it could have been from Joe Smith, but no. Who do we have?
Hayden Tenpenny.
Yes. Hello, Hayden. How are you?
Fine.
How are things in Clarksville today?
Fine. Pretty up here.
All right.
Same thing down here, too.
Now, if you'd have been the caller in the last contest, you could have walked away with $100. It would take something close to a miracle to go through the entire thing right. But why don't you start us off on the new serial number here and see how we go? We've got a letter to start off with, and yours is the very first guess. Where do you want to put it?
Let's start with E again.
With an E?
Right.
A little high on that one, Hayden.
Oh.
Well, we're going to send you a delicious flame-kissed Western steak at Western Sizzlin' Steakhouse, and we thank you very much for listening to Skip and PRD today.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Have a nice day, Hayden.
Hayden Tenpenny. It's about 5 before 11 o'clock. If he guessed E, then that means there are not too many other choices, are there?
It's true, because A's low and Z's high, so he narrowed it down pretty good.
Oh, play me.
Alabama Mountain Music for you. WSM, the best in the country. Skip and PRD. Good morning. It's 2 before 11 o'clock. NBC News coming up next. Here's Christy Lane. If you're thinking you want a stranger,
Not a stranger than we.
got a couple of professionals sitting here. George Strait at WSM, the best in the country. Skip and PRD. Good morning.
8 minutes after 11 o'clock with 76 degrees. We're working toward the low 80s this afternoon.
Beautiful day. Here's Gary Morris, brand new record called Don't Look Back from WSM. Gary Morris.
Ready to do this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Thank you. It's 11 minutes after 11 o'clock at WSM with Skip and PRD.
Yes, we are.
And we have the Spoil Sport of the Week award here.
This guy deserves it, too.
Referring to thousands of revelers likely to participate today in Memphis's annual St. Patrick's Day salute, known locally as the Pub Crawl and Marching Ensemble.
Oh, boy.
Spokesman Charles Britt, who gets the award, of the Fellowship of Mid-South Fundamentalists, said the group is opposed to, in his words, flaunting public drunkenness.
Oh, my back.
WSM, the best in the country. I'm sorry, we just...
Ouch! Ouch! Ouch!
We have photographers in here.
That hurts my ears.
Oh, it does?
That hurts my eyes, the flash. That's really...
Well, anyway, back to whatever it was we were doing.
I don't know what they're going to use these pictures for. That's what scares me.
I think they're
Last time
be,
somebody took pictures of you, I know where they ended up. A big
Yeah.
magazine, and when people come in and say, cops say, was this the one who mugged you, ma'am? And they turn these pages.
That's Conway Twitty and Loretta Lynn. You know just what I do. Bob, you have any comments about Conway? And
I like that other song much better.
the one where he says what?
Would you do that for me? I love that.
The running gag again.
Emotion.
It's quarter after 11 o'clock in the morning with Skip PRD.
God, I feel it with you.
Absolutely a mess after that photographer was in here.
I know.
Those television people. Those television people just wreck everything. And they're so concerned with appearances.
Yeah. We're not used to working.
Ever seen Dan Miller with a dirty face?
No. We've never worked in front of a live audience as far as doing our radio program. We've done other things in front of live people.
Yes.
It beats the heck out of doing it in front of dead people, that's for sure.
Nashville weather.
That was a low one, wasn't it? Low. Weather brought to you by Dixie Dotson. Well, there's a factory incentive truck sale going on. If you ever wanted a Dixie Dotson truck, this is the time to buy it, folks. March only, Thompson Lane at Nolensville Road.
It'll be a warm day. Partly cloudy and warm this afternoon and tonight. Chance of thunder showers, and then more of the same tomorrow. Expect a high both afternoons, today and tomorrow, in the low 80s and the low tonight near 60. Rain, that's a 50-50 shot this afternoon and a 30% chance tonight. 74, we have mixture of clouds and sunshine now at WSM.
And the weather brought to you by Dixie Dotson, Thompson Lane at Nolensville Road.
Hi, this is Tom T. Hall.
That's Sylvia. It's called Sweet Yesterday from WSM, the best in the country.
It's 27 minutes after 11 o'clock in the morning. Skip and PRD on WSM. And coming up still in this hour, another opportunity, ring the tanky bell, to play Pay Radio as we work on a brand new serial number.
They got their own tacky bell.
Radio 65.
Skip and PRD here on
We finally got the studio back together after that photographer was in here. I don't understand television people.
No, I don't either.
You've got to take this down. You've got to move this. I found my copy stand file. We're almost back together.
They have enough lights to light the grand
So
cannon.
picky. Insisted Skip put his hairpiece on. It was just insane.
I do not wear a hairpiece yet. It's 76 out there, WSM. Mayor Fulton has proclaimed Saturday the 20th as the League of Women Voters Voter Registration Day.
Now, that's important.
Davidson County. Now, on Saturday from 9:30 in the morning to 5 p.m., 40 League of Women Voters volunteers will be registering voters in all 6 Castronaut department stores throughout.
Want me to read that?
Huh?
Want me to read that?
I'm almost finished.
Okay.
Just leave me alone. In all 6 Castronaut department stores throughout Davidson County. So, if you would like to get all registered up to vote, wait for this Saturday. Call 297-7134. Bob, I hope you're in better shape than we are.
Well, let's take a shot at it and see.
Okay.
WSM.
Here are our headlines for the half hour. Police are going door to door in Fort Wayne, Indiana today, warning residents to leave their homes in the face of record flooding. 3 rivers have spilled out of their banks in Fort Wayne, and they're threatening to divide the city into 6 isolated areas. The U.S. ambassador is predicting still more violence as elections approach in El Salvador. The leader of rebel forces says in an interview published today in Beirut, Lebanon, that he would accept U.S. mediation in El Salvador. President Reagan says that what he calls downbeat coverage of the nation's economic ills could stall the recovery. He said he wonders whether the nation's broadcast executive news might be more concerned with ratings than they are with delivering actual news. The president's meeting at the White House this St. Patrick's Day with the newly elected Irish Prime Minister, Charles Haughey. In Tennessee news, a shareholder in a Paris bank and a Bolivar auto dealer today face charges of arranging to have the president of the bank killed for $6,500. Johnny Johnson, who owns Johnson Motor Company, is being held on $250,000 bond at Memphis. Paul Nelms, a 57-year-old stockholder in the bank, was arrested in Hot Springs, Arkansas. A Senate committee is slated to consider legislation today to tighten strip mining laws, a day after the Conservation Department was cited for failing to enforce sanctions against strip miners. Memphis federal judge Robert McRae has scheduled oral arguments in his court later in the week to hear complaints from 25 parents upset with the Board of Education's new desegregation busing plan. Most of the complaints come from residents of Raleigh, where students from some neighborhood schools are going to be bused. Knoxville landlords have lost the battle of the evictions. The city council late yesterday passed an ordinance denying nightly rental permits to landlords who have thrown out tenants in favor of World Fair tourists. The council also outlawed rent-raising policies to force the tenants to leave their homes. It's still sunny, and it's still 76 degrees at our studios. Bob Randall, WSM News. Our next news at noon.
Rodney Crowell, victim or fool? WSM with Skip and PRD.
Congratulations, Thomas Finley of Mount Juliet, our latest $100 winner in Pay Radio.
25-412. Here's Jackie Ward. That's Jackie Ward. It's called Traveling Man.
Is that Jackie Ward again?
It certainly was.
Certainly was.
Beautiful day. Partly cloudy and warm this afternoon and tonight with a chance of thunder showers. Partly cloudy and warm on Thursday.
Now, what am I going to do with all that wood I split last week?
Wait till next year.
Okay.
High this afternoon. Tomorrow, the low 80s. The low tonight near 60. And your rain chance is about 50% this afternoon. 30% tonight. 75 out there at WSM. A little bit later on, you're going to be able to win some tickets from Radio 65.
Not going to pick yourself up some tickets this time.
No, we're not going to pick them up.
I'm certainly glad we've almost worked that out of your system. It's 22 minutes before noon at WSM, and also later on
Yes.
is the opportunity again
To play Pay Radio.
Yes, working on a new serial number today.
You're such a stickler. You're worse than Miss Lowry in high school, aren't you?
Nobody's worse than Miss Lowry.
Maybe not. Skip and PRD at WSM, the best in the country.
Pardon me, I wasn't paying attention. What was it you wanted to do?
Well, I thought what we would do is go ahead and solicit calls for Pay Radio.
Why don't we take the fourth one?
Okay, we'll do it right
Right now at 352-3911.
And it's not to be confused with
Any other telephone number.
Please don't do that. We've had a couple of irate calls, people dialing in haste and misdialing, actually. 75 degrees, and while you're dialing, you can listen to this.
The following is a test system.
Well, we're back here with our contestant on the radio.
Indeed we are. Who are we talking to?
It's Fred Marshall.
Hello, Fred Marshall. How are you today?
Yes, fine.
Listen, you probably heard a little earlier on that we managed to give away that $100 we were working on.
Certainly did.
And Fred, any moment now, we'll probably...
What did you do?
I can't find the serial number. I told you, that photographer was in here a while ago. Hold on just a second, Fred.
Let me see if it's in my stuff.
I don't know if it's over here or not. Hold on. I found it.
You did?
Yeah.
Where was it?
It was on the floor. He put everything on the floor to get things off the desk so he could take pictures, and I couldn't find anything.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Fred. We're ready now. Well, I was figuring that, of course, we start out with a letter on these serial numbers, and we figure A low and Z high. What do you think?
Okay.
What should we start with this time?
Let's try D as in dog.
D as in dog. D as in darn, it's too low, Fred. But what we're going to do is...
Wait a minute, D is too low? Well, let me see that. Yeah, by golly, it...
D is too low.
That's right.
Yes, it is. Your mind is not working.
I was thinking of the last one for that.
I know you were. Fred, we're going to send you a certificate for delicious flame-kissed Western steak at Western Sizzlin' Steakhouse. And thank you, buddy, for listening to WSM.
Okay.
Take care.
All right, I don't know where am I. I just lost my head, I guess. Here's Mickey Gilley.
Give your
That's from last year. Mickey Gilley, and You Don't Know Me from WSM. Well, the Titanic, the Andrea Doria, and PRD. Three great tragedies in our life.
I know. I'm so embarrassed making an air-going spectacle of myself.
I have
like
to work
that.
with this guy. My gosh.
Here's what happened. A is low.
He is low.
Z is high.
Yes, we know this.
But it's difficult to think of that in relation to letters.
Especially when you have a brain like yours.
And what I did is I told two people two different things.
We goofed up. We'll put it that
Both of them
way.
were on the same side of the letter. What happened was,
Yeah.
and it's my mistake, and I take full responsibility for it,
Good.
to anyone except Should Tom Cassidy ask. And what happened here was the first guess we had on this new serial number. I said, "Oh, you're too high." No.
Wrong.
Wrong announcer breath. He was too low. And the second call, the one we just took, was too low, too. Now,
Why don't we just tell them what the first letter is?
why don't we just do that?
Then
We're on the first letter. I mean, after all, I have made such a mess of this, such a public display of my ignorance
Yes.
for all concerned.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, flora, fauna, flotsam, jetsam, all ships at sea. The first letter in this serial number, take it as my gift,
Me too.
F as in Frank.
Okay.
Now, we'll just, we'll start off with the first number on the next time we do pay radio.
Next time I'm going to be doing
I'm
pay radio.
sorry, I really am.
You have something else to talk about.
Yeah, I do.
What is it? I
Marxist marriages.
Are there such a thing?
Well, they have no better success rate, it appears, than capitalist couplings. According to Moscow Radio, a third of the marriages in the Soviet Union end in divorce. And those who marry for love instead of money break up more often. May have told you that your greedy great-aunt was right.
Wow.
Then there was 15-year-old Joe Felt, who spent 15 hours, 39 minutes shooting down hostile helicopters and blowing up enemy tanks in Frederick, Maryland. He racked up a staggering total of 738,450 points playing Armor Attack, his favorite pastime with the local video game arcade.
Okay.
A possible top score has never been determined, but as the arcade manager put it, I've never seen anybody play that long or get that many points. The young Armor Attack enthusiast said he could have played all night, but his dad made him go home. Things are going to change in Chicago.
Uh-oh.
Do we have any sad music?
I don't have any sad music.
That's terrible, because
Okay.
an institution is ending in Chicago.
What is that?
Voting just won't be the same in Chicago this year. After all, it's tough to get residents of the city's cemeteries to vote if a computer's handling the ballots. Chicago spent close to $9 million on a new card punch voting system designed to make voting quicker, cheaper, easier to tabulate, and it'll make vote fraud difficult indeed.
But
There aren't too many computers that care if somebody tries to slip them a fin to overlook some votes, you see. And it looks like a great Chicago ballot box stuffing tradition is now a thing of the past.
well, that's too bad. F is the first letter, ladies and gentlemen, of our new serial number.
F as in foolish is the first letter.
As in victim or fool. Here's Larry Gatlin. Larry Gatlin, that's called in like with each other from Radio 65 WSM, skipping PRD
I
here.
got a wonderful idea.
What is that?
Okay, I want to take all...
We've given away the first letter. Why don't we give away a new car or something?
No, there are a couple of things here.
Uh-huh.
No, this is for Chase's show. Where's the rest of our stuff?
It's over here by
Okay,
me.
pass it over. You can't tell anything. After that photographer was in here shooting pictures,
Yes.
things are a mess. What we have here, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Merle Haggard LP Big City. We're doing that because WSM and Royal Dutch Airlines are giving away that trip to Holland, trip for two, and we'll qualify you for that and give you an LP if you are the winner in that little telephone game. We also have tickets for Emmylou's concert, which is tomorrow night.
Choice of tickets or album.
Yeah, got your choice there. Vanderbilt's Memorial Gym begins at 8 o'clock. Tickets are $7, regularly available at Discount Records, Katz Records, and the Sound Shop. What we're going to do here is I'm going to take...
Do you think you can handle it?
I'm going to handle this. I'm going to take the 5th and 6th calls. And the 5th call, we're going to qualify them for that trip for two. And the 6th call, they're going to get the choice of the Emmylou tickets or the album. And we'll take the 5th and 6th calls right now. 352-3911.
Capital idea there, PRD. Grand Ole Opry, the world's most famous country music radio show. Now's a good time for you and your friends to come and enjoy an exciting Opry performance. Still plenty of good tickets available for all the Opry shows this weekend. Performances are at 7:30 on Friday night, 6:30, 9:30 on Saturday. The Opry ticket office at Opryland is open right now, 889-3060. I supervised this entire thing. He didn't make any mistakes, ladies and
Not a
gentlemen.
one. I didn't tell anybody they were too high nor too low. Dot Robinette, who lives in Nashville, is going to be in that drawing coming up this Friday. She wins the Big City LP from Merle Haggard right now. And Shirley Shaw, who lives Mount Juliet's, going to go see Emmylou Harris in concert tomorrow night. Compliments of WSM.
Here's Hank Jr.
Good afternoon. Bob Randall reporting. A state prison inmate today was indicted by the Davidson County Grand Jury in connection with a series of rapes in downtown Nashville. 30-year-old James Williams, currently serving a term for a parole violation, was indicted on 8 counts, including aggravated rape, aggravated kidnapping, and armed robbery. Metro Police Detective Jim Sledge said Williams was charged with the rapes of 5 women. Detective Jim Sledge, authorities had said Williams was a suspect in as many as 15 rapes in or now down near the downtown area. The bidding war between First American Corporation of Nashville and the butcher banking concerns of East Tennessee continues today for purchase rights to the largest bank in Upper East Tennessee. First American, the second largest bank holding company in the state, has matched the $90 per share bid made earlier by Knoxville banker C.H. Butcher, Jr. for First Eastern National Bank of Kingsport. The Kingsport Bank's board of directors quickly voted to approve the offer of the Nashville concern, but must await approval by a vote of all shareholders, which includes Butcher. The Metro Council last night gave its first formal approval to measures needed to finance and operate a convention center in the area of 6th and Commerce. The council passed on second reading an ordinance that would approve a 1-cent hike in the hotel-motel tax to finance the center, and okayed on first reading an agreement between the city and Chattanooga developer Franklin Haney. Councilman Houston Hager objected to the tax hike. Council members will meet again Monday and Tuesday to vote on the measures on second and third reading. Passage would clear the way for Metro's application for a $15 million federal grant for the preparation of the convention center site. A state Senate committee is slated to consider legislation today to toughen strip mining laws, a day after the Conservation Department was cited for failing to enforce sanctions against strip miners. A state controller's audit cited the Conservation Department for lax enforcement of strip mining laws, sloppy bookkeeping, inadequate safety inspections of dams, and the reliance on faulty procedures to estimate future water supplies. The Senate Energy and Natural Resources Committee is scheduled today to take up a measure to increase the minimum bond set by the Conservation Department before giving a strip miner a permit. A prominent Nashville doctor has filed a legal malpractice lawsuit against 2 attorneys. WSM's Alan Williams has details from the Metro Courthouse.
In the courthouse.
A report today that should stir hopes the recession may be nearing an end. The Federal Reserve Board said factory use was up in February, the first time in 7 months. The increase is in line with yesterday's news. The industrial production also went up last month. Analysts note, however, weather-related production and factory use declines in January may have made February's improvement seem more robust than it actually was. As a result, they're not predicting any sudden reduction in unemployment. President Reagan has sent to Congress his plan to aid economic conditions in the Caribbean. Along with the proposal was a message. President Reagan, the so-called Caribbean Basin Plan has generally won praise from the Caribbean nations and Capitol Hill. Senator Alan Simpson of Wyoming is promising a new bill to deal with illegal immigrants. He said his bill would create a method of verifying worker identity, tighten control at the nation's borders, and hold employers accountable for knowingly hiring illegal aliens. Simpson said the key to the proposal is an identification system. Simpson is a Wyoming Republican. It's St. Patrick's Day, and in several United States cities, that means a parade. We'll have more after this. Continued warm, but there's a 50% chance of shower activity this afternoon. That will drop to 30% by tonight. Skies are partly cloudy, and it's 77 degrees at our studios. Coming up, a familiar voice tells about owning a satellite dish as Don Aaron continues his series on television and radio signals from outer space. First to the USDA Market News Service at the Tennessee Department of Agriculture.
Thank you.
Are home satellite dishes all they're cracked up to be? We'll find out today as WSM's Don Aaron continues his satellite series. Concern over the state of the economy weighs heavily on Wall Street today. Prices are down below the 800 support level in active trade, but it's along a very narrow front. Declines lead advances by fewer than 100 issues, indicating just how close the market is. Now the weather, partly cloudy and warm this afternoon and tonight. Chance of thunder showers. Partly cloudy and warm tomorrow. High this afternoon and Thursday, low 80s. Low tonight near 60. The wind southwest about 10 this afternoon. South 5 to 10 tonight. Southwest 10 to 15 tomorrow. Probability of rain, 50% this afternoon, 30% tonight. Across the state, Memphis is clear, 76 degrees. Chattanooga, partly cloudy and 61. Tri-Cities, cloudy, 66. Knoxville, partly sunny and 70. Here in Nashville, the barometer is 29.95 and falling. Winds west 6. Skies partly cloudy. At the airport, officially 77 degrees. Here at the WSM studio, 78 degrees. This is Bob Randall, WSM News.
There you go. That's Gene Watson. Speak softly. You're talking to my heart. Radio 65, WSM. Skipping PRD program. 77 degrees outside. Here's Emmylou Harris. See there at the very end, she forgot the last verse.
What is a yoo-hoo?
A yoo-hoo?
What is a yoo-hoo?
A yoo-hoo is kind of like, it's one of those chocolate-flavored drinks.
Kind of like chocola or brownie.
I don't know. I never had one of these before.
I know what a goo-goo was. I love those.
You do?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fan of anything that has peanuts in it.
What?
I still would like to profess that I'm an American, but I don't like nuts for some reason.
What are you doing on this show?
I have no idea.
We had a real bad...
Got partly cloudy skies, warm this afternoon tonight with a chance thunder showers. High this afternoon, Thursday, low 80s, low tonight near 60.
Morgan, Marshall counties, northern Alabama have a severe thunderstorm warning.
Ooh, watch out.
6 months out. Kansas City Lights.
I like that song.
That's nice song.
Steve Warner, and that's called Kansas City Lights on WSM Radio. Skipping PRD. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Here's Janie Fricky. Do Me With Love.
Words are cheap. Do me with love. Do me with love. Or don't do me at all.
Janie Fricky, WSM.
Just amazing how things fall in a row.
Mm-hmm.
We got that coming up too, don't we?
Tacky bell time. To just wanted to ring it.
Okay. Well,
what were you saying? I'm sorry.
I was just saying that while Bob Randall was doing the news, I had ducked into a recording studio and just cut a couple of short announcements about the difference between weather warnings and weather watches now that season is here. And
sure.
Come right back here in the studio, and the weather wire goes ding, ding, ding. And we are requested by the Weather Service office down in Huntsville, Alabama, to tell people that a severe thunderstorm warning will be in effect until 1:20 this afternoon.
Your farm or ranch built?
I didn't do that.
I'm
glad
sorry. You didn't. For the following 3 counties in northern Alabama, Lawrence, Morgan, and Marshall counties, radar, and we can see it here on our radar scan, just below the Tennessee River in northern Alabama. There is a line of very heavy thunderstorms moving to the east about 10 miles an hour. If threatening weather approaches and you live in that area, please take cover immediately. Again, that's Lawrence, Morgan, and Marshall counties in northern Alabama.
It's 12:30 at WSM.
When the folks...
WSM Headline News at 12:33. I'm Melissa Penry. A state prison inmate today was indicted by the Davidson County Grand Jury in connection with a series of rapes in downtown Nashville. 30-year-old James Williams, currently serving a term for a parole violation, was indicted on 8 counts, including aggravated rape, aggravated kidnapping, and armed robbery. The bidding war between First American Corporation of Nashville and the butcher banking concerns of East Tennessee continues today for purchase rights to the largest bank in Upper East Tennessee. A state Senate committee is slated to consider legislation today to toughen strip mine laws, the day after the Conservation Department was cited for failing to enforce sanctions against strip miners. The Metro Council last night gave its first formal approval to measures needed to finance and operate a convention center in the area of 6th and Commerce. About 8,000 people already have fled their homes, and thousands more are threatened by flooding in Fort Wayne, the second largest city in Indiana. 3 rivers are out of their banks, and the water is still rising. 1 Democrat and 2 Republican congressional veterans have lost their seats in the nation's first primary election after redistricting. That happened in Illinois. Treasury Secretary Donald Regan today rejected Democratic proposals to roll back the Reagan administration tax cuts in the drive to cut the deficit in the fiscal 1983 budget. President Reagan says television coverage of the nation's economic ills could stall the recovery from the recession. Sources in Vienna say the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries is likely to focus on oil production cutbacks at a special meeting opening tomorrow. They say the only alternative to combat the world oil glut would be to cut prices. Mostly sunny and 79. I'm Melissa Penry, WSM News.
Charlie Pride, that's called Mountain of Love from WSM, Skip and PRD.
You're talking about a man after my own heart a bit later on.
Who, me?
John Hillerman.
John Hillerman, of course. Also, a little later on, we'll be returning our personal calls right here on the air. There's Lee Greenwood. Lee Greenwood, great tune. Ring on her fingers and time on her hands. WSM, Skip, and PRD.
Boy, I just can't find enough of these people to fill the need these days. There's an opening for a computer operator. Person must have at least 12 months experience in data entry, computer operations, and talk about a foreign language, RPG2.
Don't know that one.
Well, a computer man would, or a computer lady would know that. Yes. Salary is $12,000 a year, and you can find out more by dropping by the nearest office of the Tennessee Department of Employment Security. Where are those, Skip?
I believe 301 James Robertson Parkway and Madison Square Shopping Center.
Yes, you're right. Thank you.
Good. Now, the first letter of our thing is F, right?
Oh, listen. You know what happened to us?
It's going to be partly cloudy and warm this afternoon and tonight. Chance of thunder showers, partly cloudy and warm tomorrow. Also, if you haven't had enough. High this afternoon, tomorrow, low 80s. Low tonight near 60. Rain chance 50% this afternoon. 30% tonight. As far as a 50% chance of rain, that would require that we would see something to the west of us on the radar at this point, but I don't see any.
It's clear as a bell out there. Actually, there's some clouds in the sky, but nothing with any rain in it that we can see.
77 degrees. Beautiful day at WSM Radio.
You've got crust.
49 cents. For quality, for savings, you always do better at H.G. Hills.
WSM Radio 65.
In fact, all the rain we see down on the radar is in Alabama.
As a matter of fact, and a couple more counties, Madison and Limestone, have been put under that severe thunderstorm warning, as well as Lawrence, Morgan, and Marshall counties.
How late does that last?
About another half hour.
Okay. 1:45 at WSM. Skip and PRD. 1 o'clock will bring you Charlie Chase. Don Williams, Lord, I hope this day is good. WSM with Skip and the guy who has brought you such informative features as heating your home with your dog, sail catting, and flounder fleeking, PRD.
Thank you. Just looking on the radar again and watching those thunderstorms build down in northern Alabama. They're running from just south of Muscle Shoals, southeast to about Guntersville, Alabama. And some folks down in there are under a severe thunderstorm warning for about another half hour. Should be prepared to seek shelter if one of those devils comes boiling up to your back door.
I'd like to have some lightning hit my chair here.
You need some oil on that chair.
You know, we're moving in a couple of weeks. Maybe we can get a new chair completely.
Entirely possible.
I've got a can of chair oil back here.
My hero is a man whose name would not bring an instant hoarse cry of recognition from most people.
How about a Bronx cheer of recognition?
John Hillerman. The impeccable Jonathan Quayle Higgins of Magnum P.I. finds himself an actor in heaven, though still alive and kicking. Hillerman's been a character actor for 27 years, a nameless face in a cast of scores of movies and TV shows. Now he's living the life of a superstar and savoring every moment of it. Viewers are able at last to put his name with his face. The transplanted Texan lives in Hawaii, where the CBS TV series is in production. A chauffeured limousine at his beck and call 24 hours a day. He is a bon vivant, a gourmet who cherishes the good life. Fine wines, caviar, superlative works of art, and a floor-to-ceiling TV screen in his home. His work schedule definitely befits a gentleman. Hillerman may work 3 or 4 days a week, or 1 or 2, depending on the script. When not in Hawaii, he lives in an isolated splendor in an exquisitely furnished home above the San Fernando Valley. This is sort of a guy you'll remember in all movies, sitting in a wingback chair in a smoking jacket, brandishing a cigarette in an elongated holder and reading a Victorian novel. That's an accurate portrait of Bachelor Hillerman, not too different from his role of Higgins, the pontifical ever-correct majordomo in Magnum. To hear Hillerman speak, you'd never guess he once had a Denison, Texas drawl, y'all. Years of voice lessons in New York, and a proclivity for high-sounding phrases and meticulous elocution convinced many that Hillerman is indeed upper-class British. He thinks, acts, talks, and raises his eyebrows with an Englishman's hauteur. His Magnum casting is as flawless as his spotless British-cut wardrobe. Finally, after all these years, the face emerges from among the crowd.
Still the same old Hillerman, right?
Yes.
George Jones. Same old me, WSM, skipping PR&D here.
It is time again, and we're going to try to do it right this time. You may recall in our last exciting episode...
It was a disaster.
Stupid announcer.
Disaster.
We gave away the first letter of the new serial number. Just flat out gave it away. It is an F as in Frank. And we're trying to come up with what that first number would be now. And if you want to be the first one to give that a shot, we'll take the third call right now. 352-3911.
Skip and PRD at WSM. Sound of the tacky bell means.
Hey, radio. And hello, Sheila Lindsay.
Hello?
Are you home or at work?
At home.
Okay. What do you think the first of the numbers in that serial number is going to be?
Okay, it's F and then 5.
5 is a little too low, but
are you sure?
Positive it's too low. I can
Okay.
tell with numbers. I can't with letters. Sheila, we're going to send you a certificate for a delicious flame-kissed Western steak at Western Sizzlin' Steakhouse. Thank you for listening to Skip and PRD today.
Thank you.
Okay, take care now.
Ah, she sounded sweet. Well, it's time to get out of here, PRD. What do you say?
I say that after the day I have had, it's probably fair that I leave now.
Okay.
With luck, they may let me come back tomorrow.
If you're lucky.